Live from the McCommune Studios in Linwood, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who are the perfect mix of being close enough to the door while also helping you get in the steps that you need. Welcome to the Spacecast.
Podworms Spacecast, throw it in your face cast. Podworms Spacecast.
Well, hey, hi, hello, and welcome everybody back to the Podworms Spacecast. So excited to have you back on board with us for another episode. Let me introduce you to the guys. Now I fucked it up.
You always fuck it up.
I don't. That's not true. It's been many episodes.
No, you've done well.
You could have kept going.
How'd you fuck it up?
We got one half of the Deadly Brother duo. It's Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother Rogo.
And his deadly brother, Kevin McCoy.
And the Deadly Brother Rogo.
We have the Podworms preacher. It's Peter Freeze. And our little buddy, Jim Charters.
I'm just so happy to be here today.
And I am the low-hanging fruit, Andrew LeClaire. We have
Did you guys see that angel that just appeared?
Are we not going to talk about that?
Can we discuss that for a
Just
minute?
very quickly took over Peter's body and then left.
I'm just glad it wasn't Bill Clinton.
He was so beautiful.
Hey.
Oh, God. We have a great, very jam-packed show
Never say
today.
his name.
We have the return of a long-lost segment, the Kickstarter shit pit.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
As well as a new game. This it doesn't have a name, but it's about Starbucks. Okay, there you go.
The Starbucks game.
What do you want? You may come up with a snappy name for everything. It doesn't have.
Yeah, the Starbucks corner.
All right, the Starbucks.
Idiot.
Starbucks.
Corner.
Starbucks Minute.
Starbucks.
Thanks a latte.
Thanks a latte. That works.
There it is.
But before we get into that, I need you guys to weigh in on something that was kind of starting up a little bit of a conversation at the office the other day, which is that we were discussing the topic of home defense.
Okay.
So many of us here live in a home,
Yeah, we do.
whether it's an apartment, a condo, a house
Yeah,
that you need to defend, potentially.
Right.
sure do.
I mean, God willing, you won't have to, but if you're on the Next Door app, then
I'm fighting it against God.
you have an even bigger challenge than most of us.
Yeah.
Because God's
Rod the Pod God.
Rod the Pod God.
Step 1, you have to let Rod the Pod God into your heart.
Step 2, you have to
Let him in-
remove your heart.
And step 3, you have to let him into your pod.
Wait, you have to hold on. Step 2 is really, really tough, though. You have to after he's in your heart, you have to remove your heart.
Sounds like ye of little faith, Mike.
It's just like the scene in Temple of Doom. You have to remove your heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then step 3 was let him on the pod.
No, let him into your pod.
Your
I feel like I've already let him into this pod, which is why it's been
we
so
have.
good.
A long time ago, we let him into the pod.
Right around episode 20, I believe.
we spoke his name.
If you notice the change in quality between
Yeah.
episode 19 and
It's
20,
'cause
We started praying before every single pod.
We invoked the power of Rod.
the presence of Rod.
Rod the Pod God.
So we were discussing, and we were, God forbid you'd ever have to
Rod forbid.
God forbid you'd ever have to defend your home. But there's crazy people out there.
Yeah, right.
And they want what you have, and they're going to take it by some unsavory means,
They
potentially.
want my debt.
Potentially,
They fucking
yeah.
have my debt.
Yeah.
But
Just throw your debt at him.
so we were talking, and one of my coworkers said that he has a baseball bat in his room, which I think is not uncommon. And we all kind of agreed that a gun is not a great home defense mechanism because, well, a number of reasons, but statistics show that it's often used for other things besides defending your home, like killing somebody in your family by accident or killing a delivery man
Or yourself.
Or quotes around the accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Daniel.
Oh, that's why he moved out.
Daniel, you can edit that out, but you already heard it. So watch out. So
Leave it in. This will help you in court.
so everyone's kind of in agreement. The gun's not a great self-defense device.
At your work, they're all in agreement, but hey, don't speak for the pod.
I'm not speaking. I'm talking about.
Yeah, Andrew, we
The
all
Office.
have guns.
So one of them had a
Two.
baseball bat.
Peter just raised his arms.
And
I just want you to know that.
Elbows up. He raised his hands, elbows up, guns.
I just want to make sure that
My
translated.
muscles are so heavy, it's very difficult for me to
even
lift my
lift
arms.
Peter's working a lot of visual comedy recently on the pod.
yeah,
He's flipping me off right now.
Peter. Here's a little known fact about the pod. Not to digress, but Peter's actually the funniest person on the pod. His humor is all physical. So that's if that's why he doesn't seem like the funny. It's because it's all
I
physical.
mean, as soon as we get like this, turn this podcast into a live stream, Peter's stock's gonna skyrocket. In the podcast.
So you can definitely buy now because it's low.
Yeah.
And if you can see him right now, he's doing that sitcom kind of look like golly gee.
Is this the micro penis coming out?
See, it's a physical thing because right now he's actually doing something very funny physically.
That does look like a micro penis.
Oh, Pete.
So
You can see Andrew's micro penis? That's pretty
No, just
impressive.
the miming you were doing.
yeah. So the I upped the ante with this conversation. I guess to me I didn't think it was, but I have a machete from REI in my
have a
room.
machete? I have a machete.
Okay,
Great idea.
And see the pushback I was getting from my coworkers is they're like, "What a machete? Don't you think it's a little bit much?" And then
You don't want to be like. I don't want to be there after.
yeah, they're like, well, "Think about the cleanup."
Dude, just get a gun.
Plus, we all know you're better with shears.
yeah. I mean, well, shears in one hand, machete in the other hand. But I was talking. I was like, "What's the difference between having a baseball bat and a machete?" They're like, well, I would just, hit him in the head or like hit him in the face with a baseball bat. And I'm like, what's the difference between the machete and the baseball bat?
Still gonna be clean up.
The amount of blood on your floor.
But I said a machete is more versatile because you poke, you can stab, you can slash. With
can
a
run it, yeah.
With a baseball bat, you basically need a good wind up and a swing,
Yeah, I guess that's true. You can give a good slap with a machete.
Yeah.
If you do it, the side of the blade.
What are you You're punishing them? Get out of my house. Bad.
Just get the rolled up newspaper instead.
Get a spray bottle with
Nobody's
vinegar. Out. Get out of my house.
nobody's gonna like it if you're running at them in the dark with a machete either.
Are you trying to rob my house again?
Get out.
Do you remember the last time I sprayed you? Get out.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really own a baseball bat, but I do have this machete that Ian bought a few years ago, and he lives in Canada. So he bought this machete for a camping trip for some stupid reason. All he ever did with it was he cut himself in the first 2 minutes of having it.
Okay.
And it did a pretty good job. So I was like, man, this thing is a potentially good weapon because he barely touched it and cut his finger pretty good. And so
Perfect.
And so I was just like,
So you bought one.
no, he gave it to me because he can't take it back to Canada.
And if he tried to take it back to Canada, he probably would have died.
Yeah.
Would have hurt himself.
So I just have it in the corner of the room. I don't sleep with under my pillow or anything. I'm not like a machete nut. I got my machete on me.
Don't make no mistake.
Yeah.
He is no machete nut.
I'm packing.
You don't walk around with your machete strapped to your hip.
Andrew's on the machete forums, just like telling guys like how to open carry a machete.
Concealed carry. It's concealed, except it's like just looks like I have an
Outline of a machete in your
15-inch
pants.
dick. Yeah, so
A flat dick.
a very
really
flat.
wide, very flat.
Got him.
Well, that did come up where we were discussing this. That my colleague said that
Flat dick.
you can just slap with your flat dick.
We were discussing why he was concealing a
You don't
machete in
need
his
a
pants.
weapon. You got that big old flat dick.
No, I said you can just keep the sheath on it. Hit them with the machete with the sheath. That's a nice kind of split the difference between the baseball bat and the machete.
Yeah.
You just
What
hit it
do
with
you-
the sheath.
What the fuck?
Bad. Get out of my house.
Next time I use a machete.
Next time I take this thing out.
Now you know I have one.
What do they think is going to happen when someone's in your back? I say back. What?
I know. That was exactly my thought.
Yeah, just use a chair like a lion tamer.
Yeah, a whip. Indiana Jones.
Get a whip. My stupid home defense thought has always been like I want to just keep something like heavy enough that somebody wouldn't be able to catch it if I threw with them. So like a bowling ball or like
A medicine ball.
or like a medicine ball or something, and
Yeah.
just like, you know, if somebody's in my house, I'm like, I'll just throw this at them, or
What do
they'll
you
be like,
say?
hey, catch.
No,
And
you
then-
have to. No. You say think fast.
and I'm always like, you know, that would be a good idea. Nah, it's not a good idea at all.
that requires a lot of accuracy in a very stressful moment.
You just have like the Home Alone house. Yeah. You just got like paint cans and like
cans,
tied to ropes.
Toy cars at the bottom of the steps.
You always, every night before you go to bed, you always put like the heating iron on your front doorknob.
Yep.
It's just
I
always
heat
incredibly
it
hot.
up. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's obviously some pretty sophisticated self-defense systems out there, such as all the Home Alone ones, but
The best defense is a good offense.
that's why
So you raid other people's homes?
I prowl the streets every night with my machete.
So you think about it. Think about it this way.
The police come up to you and they're like, "Sir, why are you wandering on the streets with the machete?" You're like, "I'm just keeping all those criminals out of this neighborhood."
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Call me Machete Man.
Yeah, I guess I am a machete nut, come to think of it.
I mean, if you did cause enough like little petty crime in your neighborhood, then your neighborhood would get like really fucking on edge.
Yeah.
They'd all start looking out, and then the neighborhood, they would take care of itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then your neighborhood would become really safe.
Well, I'm gonna follow up on this, and I'm gonna check back in with you guys in a few weeks once I've cleared out the neighborhood of all the riffraff.
Yeah, I suggest creating a police state within your little neighborhood.
I also would suggest you should just go on Nextdoor, make a new profile on Nextdoor, and just be like, I just saw a guy walking around all black. He's got a machete.
He's a fucking hero. What a stud.
His name's Wayne Bruce.
I felt so safe.
I went out and talked to him, and he told me he was keeping the street safe.
Don't worry.
Felt so safe today.
He only whacks the criminals with his machete. Doesn't cut them.
Uses a side.
And the park looks great. Like I can get through, cut through really easily now.
Yeah, he's made a few little.
cleared all the
trimmed the
trails.
Clearing brush.
He's got downtime. I mean, there's not always criminals to slap on the side of the machete.
Just slap on the side.
All right, you've been a bad boy. Bend over. Whack.
You know, I don't like this any more than you do. This hurts me too.
It just sounds like an album title, like the new Insane Clown Posse album,
God.
Machete Slap.
ICP.
So we have a segment that we've done this show that we like to call. I don't know. We've called different things every time.
What do we like to call it?
What would
though?
we like? Yeah.
It's a Kickstarter shit pit. That's what we're calling it today.
I like calling it that.
Yeah. Cool. The premise here is that there are some things on Kickstarter that they should never deserve to be funded. And somehow they often end up being funded, typically way more than you would ever believe. And this one was actually found by our editor, Daniel. And the tagline of this Kickstarter project says, "Once rejected, now their own toy." This is called The Nudies, Neudies. I'll go ahead and share this with the folks in the room with me. And if you care to see what this looks like, go ahead and look up Nudies.
Nope.
Okay.
Neudies.
They're kind of like a fleshy.
Now they're their own toy.
So they're
What are they on a pile of? What is the pile?
so before I
What are
tell
they
you
standing on?
before I tell you what this is all about, can someone describe this to
Yeah, it's like an egg shape with arms and legs, and then one has a dick, and then one has a vagina.
It's Mr. Potato Head made of skin with extremely large protruding genitalia.
Yeah,
Male and
that's
female.
about right.
So
And
why were they rejected? I gotta know. I gotta know.
so far, I could see the appeal.
I mean, I buy
Also,
this.
they are standing on a pile of what looks to be like normal human bodies, but I cannot tell.
yeah, the image is pretty weird. The one thing I'll point out about them is that they're very kind of tame as far as genitalia goes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the dick is uncircumcised. To the best of my knowledge.
Yeah,
That's
erect.
sending a fucking message.
It is.
Yeah.
It is pretty hung though, and the vagina is like a nice little clamshell with nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're hairless.
Yeah, they're hairless, so they're very I'd call
They're
them
futuristic and slick.
demure, perhaps. You know? They're very futuristic. Yeah. So
Demure.
before I even dig into what this is, I'll just tell you that there's been 245 backers that have collectively pledged $17,000 to bring this project to life.
Sure. What was the goal?
That's a good question. I might find 15,000. So they exceeded it. They exceeded it. Yeah. So the premise here, it says, since the early days of toy making, genitals have been consciously rejected. I don't even want to go any further than that right now. So since the early days of toy making, genitals have been consciously. So what that makes
What do
me
you
think
call
of,
those troll toys then?
well, they're genitalialess.
Yeah.
Because how odd would it
Ken,
be?
Barbie.
They just look like.
Because what if you were playing with your Barbie and because everybody as a kid takes off the clothes of the dolls. If you take off like Ken's swim trunks and there's just a fucking giant hog hanging down, like, isn't that a little bit unnecessary?
It's the only like rubbery part of the plastic toy.
Yeah, I mean, you want the kids to be playing with like the beach and the car and the volleyball. You don't want them to be sitting there like playing with Ken's dick. I feel like this is an okay decision to not include the genitalia on toys. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's just a part that would get lost for the male action figure or doll.
They'd all be snapped off.
Yeah, those are. That's.
I mean, it would just get taken
the
off.
male
immediately.
genitalia is a very.
That's a choking hazard.
That's true. It is a choking hazard.
Yeah, not
it's a
safe for
very
children.
awkward. So yeah, you'd have to either make it out of something that's gonna be like a rubbery and not snap off, or you're just gonna have to live with the
just
fact
fold
that.
it down.
You can just sculpt it onto the plastic.
Yeah, you could just make it so it's not protruding.
Come on, we're gonna figure out how to snap that dick off.
I mean,
together.
That's our responsibility.
Together.
We are going to have to figure out how to snap that
that's
dick off.
what we're doing tonight.
And we're not leaving this room until we've successfully done it. So
Also, though, it's very presumptuous of these folks to think that since the beginning of toy making,
These folks.
genitalia has been forgotten. You know, we only have 1% of ancient literature that's left over.
true.
How many of the toys do
Yeah.
we have? They don't know that the ancient Samaritans weren't putting dicks and vaginas on their toys.
Mr.
Those
Potato Dick.
Samaritans.
Have you seen those like
no
Filipino
idea.
toys where it's like a man in a
Yes.
barrel and
Yes,
then you
the
like
man
lift
in
the
the
barrel
barrel.
up and
Yes.
It's got a big hog.
No, I've seen the little kid that pisses.
Yeah.
You like tap on his head and he pees.
I haven't seen that.
Was that a dream?
So, Andrew, if
yeah.
I'm piecing this together correctly, they're basically saying, and in our capital society, that there is a niche for toys with genitals because they don't exist elsewhere. You should buy your kid a toy that has genitals to remind them that they're natural and normal.
Well, yeah. So I guess the lore here behind the nudies goes. So feeling ashamed and misunderstood, the dark factory basements became their only home. The neglected parts were doomed to hide forever, but two brave genitals risked it all to realize their dream of becoming toys. So the lore here is that like all the dicks and vaginas that were supposed to be part of all the other toys got cast away into the basement because they didn't just not make them. They made them, but then cast them away.
That's really dark.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So these are recycled.
Yeah, from all the toys, dicks, and vaginas.
All dicks and vaginas lost.
So yeah, they're just filling another capitalist niche. They're like, look, we have all of these parts that are just left over. And normally they just get thrown out, but we're
Because there's no way-
reusing them.
There's no way to make a Barbie or a Ken doll without the dick. They have to make it and then they have to take it off.
They have to smooth it down.
Like, do you realize how much money we would spend retooling those molds for Ken and Barbie?
So much wasted material.
So much wasted material.
The designer's like, I can only design what I see. And all I see is people with dicks and people with vaginas.
Yeah, I've worked the last 12 years at the castration station at the Barbie factory. I'm going to tell you that fucks with you. That's why I drink.
That's the documentary that's like a companion to this
That's
toy.
also a Spotify station.
It's honest work.
Yeah.
So it says, why are we doing this?
honest work.
It's no secret.
It ain't much.
It's no.
It ain't a good job. but it's honest work.
It's no secret that sex is all around us, but somehow it's still uncomfortable and a little weird to talk about genitals. The nudies were born from this paradox. After all, how can we glorify and shame them at the same time?
Kind of makes you think.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like in one hand, you have like that bald guy in porn glorifying.
Right.
On the other hand,
Right.
you have everybody else not accepting that bald guy for what he's contributing to society. They're shaming him. So they actually cast the male nudie after that bald-headed porn star.
Oh.
You fellas, you know the guy I'm talking about.
You know, and all of us have been just so ashamed for so long that we're not bald. We're not that guy.
Exactly.
We're not about Bruce Willis.
The deliverable here, these have not been shipped yet. They're shipping in December, so soon.
Oh, just in time for Christmas.
Okay.
So it's a 5-inch vinyl toy.
Okay.
Wow.
And you can get the female one or the male one, or you can get both.
Can you get both? It's like a
There's like a sticker collection you can get that features them, as well as, I guess, like the extended universe that has the faces of some kids.
What?
I mean, they're cartoon kids. It's like a rainbow, a sun. There's a flight attendant, or may I have bad. What? I might have bad eyes. It looks like a flight attendant.
I want the flight attendant.
It looks like a flight attendant to me. But
So you're saying these nudies have jobs?
I mean, no, their friends have jobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's like an
Why
extended
can't
universe.
they have jobs?
This is part of the nudie
They have a
expanded
job.
universe.
Their job is teaching kids about sex.
Oh, and their own genitals.
Did you say there was a kid nudie toy?
No, there's a kid sticker in the sticker pack.
I'm so confused.
Wait, it's a sticker pack. It's not
Yeah.
more toys.
No, there's only the two.
There's not like a
Do
kid.
they come in different colors, or are they all just
Are
white?
they all like kind of
Oh.
white colored?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
a-
this is problematic.
I think it is.
for more than one reason.
Yeah. So I guess if you want the nudies, you can still pledge and get yours by December and put them in your stocking for all your loved ones. So there you go.
That those stickers are terrifying because they do look like children, and I think the stickers go on the nudies.
They go on the nudies?
I think so.
I think they go on your notebook.
What?
This is weird. This is weird ass shit.
It's literally just everybody here is overthinking it. It's a bunch of little stickers that have like rainbows and cartoon pictures of the doll.
It's worse than I thought.
No, but what's the deal? Hold on a second. What's the deal with the person that looks like a flight attendant is not a flight attendant. They're just wearing like a commissar's
smoking a
hat
cigarette.
and they're smoking a cigarette.
Well, there's also the Statue of Liberty in a tent. So I don't fucking know.
'Cause that guy looks like the political officer in the Soviet
in a
Union or
tent?
something.
But here, I didn't want to stall on this, but now they're called super puffy stickers, which I think are those stickers that have a little bit of volume to
Oh,
them.
yeah, okay.
Which are actually pretty fucking
The
sick.
vinyl ones?
I love those.
Okay.
Like I used to get the ones that were furry. Do you guys ever have those? Like that, like
Yeah,
the
those
textures.
are pretty dope too.
Yeah, those are sick.
Yeah.
Kevin, I just keep thinking about the guy whose job it was to hack off all of the genitals, all the dolls, and maybe the factory lets him bring the parts home as toys for his kids later because he can't afford to buy his own toys. Hey kids, I brought you guys something for Christmas. These are all extras from the factory.
It's all that I could afford.
He glued them all into the shape of a cat.
I think it's like I appreciate the sex positive vibe for kids to not fear, themselves and other people's genitalias.
But there's no way I wouldn't be sticking my dick in that as a kid.
Also, like the fact that it's like latex, right? Like it probably
It's
feels
perfect.
it
It's
feels like
They
flesh.
might as well
I'm
include
sure.
some lube with it. God.
Well, I think also, but why not have? Okay, it's like I get it. Like it's like the pendulum swing. It's like we haven't had genitalia on any toys, so let's make one that it's like literally it is specifically. It's like it's not anatomically correct. It is just literally the genitalia. Why not make like
with
a
arms
doll?
and legs.
Like the same way that they have like some dolls for like kids that like feel more like raising a little kid, where it's like they open their eyes, they sleep,
poop,
they
they
poop,
pee.
they do that. Why not have it so that has genitalia versus like making we're just going straight to an egg-shaped character.
Yeah. So like, and this is a little bit political for the pod, but while I appreciate the movement, I think maybe this is setting it back I don't know.
I think, Kevin, you're on to something because this might be toys are great to learn. We know that like tactile learning's good, especially at a young age. This might be something where mom and dad have a conversation with the kid and say, hey, instead of calling it the hoo-ha and the hoo-hee, this is your penis and your vagina. You're a 3-year-old.
This is your penis in your vagina.
No,
This is yours,
I'm saying
and this is yours.
you're having an actual conversation with your
right.
kid, and you're like, instead of not telling them the names for their actual body parts, you teach them the names for their body parts at a young age so they know what they are, and you don't treat it like it's something that's wrong.
That's fine.
I'm hung up on Mike's idea of the hyper realistic doll and just having it shit out of like a very incredibly realistic asshole. Like it just puckers up and just the whole thought of that. I think kids would love it.
That's a Black
But
Mirror episode.
that exists though.
Of a real anatomically correct
not
butthole,
not hyper realistic. It doesn't.
like with the coloring and everything.
I don't.
Depending on what you fed it that day, it's either like,
Is it solid or liquid?
And you know, like little.
Those dolls die. Like if you like don't feed it right.
oh god, if one day it doesn't wake up.
It doesn't wake up, and there's nothing you can do.
You try
It's
to-
like you
you, like,
replace
try
the
to repl-
batteries, and it still doesn't wake up.
Dude, there was some toy that was like a little dinosaur that like it like would walk around and it had like a little AI chip in it. But if you like hit it, it would like be like, "Weh." And like there's videos on the internet where
remember
people
this.
were like abusing this thing, and eventually if you abuse this toy enough, it did turn off and never turn on again.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? Like they made it to like increase empathy, but like but humans saw it and their immediate thing was like, how can we torture the shit out of this toy?
Punch it as hard as possible.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. I watched a video of it and it's unsettling for sure.
That sounds awful.
Well, there's some good ideas here.
Yeah, Mike, it sounds like you're going to write a Black Mirror episode about the hyper realistic doll.
Yeah, specifically the butthole. I
Yeah.
don't care about all this other genitalia. I'm really interested in that butthole.
HBO is going to be like, all right, well, this is very centric on the butthole, but I think we can do something with this.
I want to see that little seam too. You know, the little seam right above the butthole. That's an important piece that the dolls always miss out on.
Yeah.
Above?
What?
Well,
I'll show you guys after the pod.
and the tail and like the weird hair, you know. Yeah.
And the
tail.
second penis. I don't know why people always leave it. So we're gonna end this show with a Starbucks game.
Yeah. Thanks a latte.
Yeah.
Thanks a latte. But this deserves a little bit of context as to how this came up.
Okay.
And so today I was at a Starbucks and I didn't buy anything. I was just enjoying their Wi-Fi.
You went into it and didn't buy anything?
Do you ever buy anything at the Starbucks?
I have. Like I'll sometimes buy a water, which is technically free.
What the fuck is that sentence?
Can I purchase one water, please?
They're like, yeah, we got bottles in the cooler right there. No, 1 cup of water.
Free one, please.
a venti water.
How often do you go to Starbucks?
Rarely.
Okay.
Yeah,
He doesn't
rarely.
drink coffee, remember?
But you do just to go for their Wi-Fi.
Like most of the time I'm killing time before the podcast. Usually is when I'm at Starbucks.
so once a week
No,
is
yes.
rarely.
Yeah.
Yes. But at this particular Starbucks, I was just kind of kicking it. I found myself a nice quiet corner so I wouldn't be disturbed by other people enjoying their purchased beverages and judging me, you know, the purchasers versus the non-purchasers is a big thing. And I was in the corner enjoying the Wi-Fi and I had my headphones on and I was noise canceled, canceling out the world because I was focused in my work, dedicated and grinding, you know, rise and grind. That's me at the Starbucks. I looked up, kind of out of the corner of my eye, and I thought I saw a woman sit down with like her son because I was sitting right in front of this kind of fireplace. And I thought, because out of my peripheral vision, I thought I saw the mom sit down and kind of put her son in front of the fireplace, kind of hang out and chill. And then I kind of got like a better look at him later. I noticed that it was not a son. It was a relationship I couldn't quite figure out. It was a woman who was a businesswoman. She had like business attire on. And this dude was not young enough to be her son. He was maybe a few years younger, but not by much at all. And he had a beard and he was in like a hoodie. So he's like more casual guy. And but the conversation, the body language that they were having was not of two people who are comfortable with each other.
Okay.
And so I was trying to pick up on the vibe. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then I kind of turned my headphones off and I was just listening. I was eavesdropping as much as possible. But the weird thing is they stopped talking. By the time I noticed something weird, they had stopped talking. And now I'm like, well, this is really weird because she was sitting on her phone just nonstop typing, kind of like hunched over. Like this body language wasn't indicating that she was like not into whatever was kind of happening here. And I was like, is this a weird pickup attempt? Should I be kind of aware to give her out or something kind of thing? I was like, I'll just listen in because I'm just kind of curious more than anything. And so I kind of sitting there trying to assess this relationship between the two of them. And every now and like, I heard her say, hey, I got to make some business calls. Or she's like, oh, sorry, I have to make some business calls. And he's like, oh, no, don't be sorry. It's all good. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like he's kind of in this very like agreeable state as if, you know, they're on this like first date kind of thing, but they weren't. They didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
And so then, you know, they in silence, they're not really talking to each other. Then at some point he starts talking about like a bush outside and she kind of goes like, oh, haha, yeah, that's crazy. Like kind of like appeasing him to some extent. And then he kind of goes to the bathroom. She stays, so she doesn't go anywhere. And then another dude kind of pulls up next to me. And then the guy comes back from the bathroom. We're all kind of sitting there. And this is over the span of probably 30 minutes. This whole thing's happening.
Yeah.
And at some point, he just starts up a conversation with the guy about his watch. And the guy's caught off guard. He's like, huh, what? And so they start having this weird conversation. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a guy that knows this woman. This is just some weirdo who's just kind of like starting a conversation with people at Starbucks. And so I was kind of hoping he was going to start a conversation with me because I was like, this is going to be some podcast fodder. Unless he takes me to his car and chops me up into a million pieces.
Or slaps you with a machete.
Or slaps me with a machete. Yeah. But at some point, so this thing's totally weird, right? Like he's just starting conversations. He doesn't know anybody. He leaves our little area in the corner of the Starbucks and he goes and kind of takes a high chair at one of those tall tables that someone's already sitting at, right? Like so basically theoretically a two-person kind of thing, but it's a one person working on their laptop and he sits down at the same table as them. I'm too far away to hear their conversation, but I'm just like writing it off at this point as, okay, yeah, this is pretty weird.
Yeah.
And then probably another 10 minutes pass, he comes back, then takes a seat. A few minutes later, the woman gets up and I have my music on again, so I can't hear the conversation, but all I see is that she stands up, he stands up, they shake hands and they walk out at the same time. And so I still don't know. The whole thing ended like a business transaction, but I thought he was like a crazy homeless guy. I don't know what the relationship with them was, but it was just the most bizarre.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. Continue.
So I have no idea.
Okay.
But that interaction inspired me to create this game.
Okay. That is a great pitch.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
And so with that in mind, this game, thanks a latte, I'm going to tell you the name of a unique Starbucks drink and you have to tell me what's in it.
Oh.
All right.
No, because I was at Starbucks.
This is not where I thought I was going.
I was at Starbucks.
Yeah, well, it was a good pitch.
Okay, and for that, I'm out.
I just wanted to know more about the.
So starting us off, we have the Frapula. This is a Halloween themed drink. What do you think is in the Frapula?
Blood.
The Frapula has ground up Count Chocula and cream and coffee.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say pumpkins.
Wait, what?
It's Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Okay. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about what. Yeah, okay.
No.
I was just focusing on the Count Chocula.
Garlic, lots of garlic.
Frapula. Maybe some pumpkin spice. What? What?
Oh, yeah, yes. Oh no, you're totally right.
What?
I'm going to go blood
Okay.
and espresso. And some type of whip.
Okay.
Is this a secret menu item?
These are just kind of like, I think seasonal. Some of them are kind of just, they did them once and they didn't come back. They're just kind of wacky, fun Starbucks drinks.
Oh, the Frapula's also
Was
got.
Frapula this year?
Yeah.
It doesn't include that information for me here.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you find like a Starbucks insider website that tells you all about the hottest drinks at Starbucks?
I took the time to interview somebody at the Starbucks.
Really?
Was it that guy?
Was it that guy?
Andrew was actually asking a bunch of different people.
Andrew is having an out of body experience.
Shaking hands.
It was like a Fight Club thing where I thought I was sitting there watching this conversation. But I was actually walking around the store. I was talking to the woman. I sat at the high table and I shook her hand.
You made a business deal with her.
I do a podcast. What's a weird drink and what's in it?
Oh, I gotta go for a second. I'll be back.
Sick. Thank you.
So the next drink is the get the fuck away from me.
I'm gonna change mine. Do we have to name all the ingredients or just like the main ingredient?
I mean, yeah, as many as possible.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Frappula is like a regular frappuccino with everything in the frappuccino that's not the flavoring, and the flavoring is cranberry.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, so not blood.
I'm gonna say caffeine for sure. Probably some water in there. And that's what I'm banking on.
Maybe some
sugar.
maybe some sugar.
So the core ingredients for sure.
Maybe a dairy product of some sort. I'm gonna still say, you know, I'm thinking that this is a frappuccino product it's probably like dark black colored, and it's got like black sprinkles over whip, and it's got coffee and maybe some pumpkin thing in it, like Mike was saying.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with some type of blended ice, dark chocolate.
Are we going like
whip.
3 laps around the guess? I feel like I heard blood,
shut the
count
fuck
chocolate.
up.
Okay, go ahead.
Garlic.
I'm gonna go with some type of blended ice, dark chocolate, blooded whip.
ice.
Blooded ice.
Yeah,
Okay. For
Mine's gonna be like some.
all right, guess number 4. Let's keep refining based on no extra information.
Are there any ingredients we've missed?
The company has been serving up a spooky frappula made with white chocolate sauce, milk, and blended ice. Oh no, sorry, and ice.
Blooded ice?
blood ice.
Blooded ice.
Ice blended together, then layered between mocha sauce and a dollop of whipped cream. A drizzle of raspberry syrup oozes from the rim,
I said cranberry. I did say cranberry, didn't I?
That's a different raspberry.
which is finished with whipped cream on top.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of stuff that we guessed.
We're dead on.
If you combined all of our guesses,
You're not entirely
It
wrong.
would be
There
like
is-
just slightly off the bullseye.
Okay,
Did they say the blood was in there?
yeah, a little bit of blood.
blooded ice.
I mean, they didn't specifically call out the water and the caffeine, but I know I'm right.
It's implied.
or the sugar. Well, unless it's a decaf.
Deef calf?
A decaf.
I think a frappula would
Did
be
you say
decaf.
a deep calf or
No,
a
it
deep
might be
calf?
decaf though.
True.
It's deep calf. Hella
Deep
caffeinated.
calf.
Hella calf.
So much calf, dude.
The next one is a unicorn frappuccino, which maybe you guys have actually.
I've heard of this.
Rainbow sprinkles.
Rainbow sprinkles, whip, blended ice,
Vanilla.
unicorn blood. You got vanilla. Yeah.
So they did this for a limited time.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who worked on the film that me and Mike have been a part of for the last couple
Was it,
years
was it Brad Pitt?
bought 3 of these and put them in his freezer
Yeah.
and has sold them on eBay for $1,500.
Are you shitting me?
People bought a frozen frappuccino, unicorn frappuccino, like a year after it
Dude,
was.
that is not good.
Dude, how did he ship them to them?
I have so many questions.
Well, $500
I, like,
was just the shipping
He
method.
posted it on Facebook.
Refrigerated shipping?
Yeah, he
Good God.
posted on Facebook and was like, "Look at what I sold this on eBay for."
What?
And I messaged him and I was like, "Are you like fucking with me right now? Is this real?" And he's like, "No, it's 100% real."
That is so weird.
Can we get
How
on
would
the
you
pod?
even know to do that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Who would even know to buy it?
He's an evil genius.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe he's got a really big freezer.
3 drinks.
That's my main question. Is like I could see putting 1 in my freezer, but 2 or more, 3.
More than one? What? That's so much space
Who's
you're
got the
taking up.
freezer space?
That's displacing all my hot pockets.
Think about it.
I did.
I am thinking about it.
Yeah, that's if you had a fucking like deep freezer that was like a coffin one.
Yeah. Shaped like a coffin?
Yeah, of course I would buy novelty drinks and just put them in there. Those obviously are going to appreciate in value.
Yeah.
Peter.
And any look,
When
any
you
money
think
manager,
about it,
That's
yeah.
like
any money manager is going to tell you that.
Okay. So
I
is
took
there,
out my whole bank account and put in unicorn frappuccinos.
It's like Beanie Babies.
Haven't you ever heard the term unicorn when people talk about companies?
$1 billion valuation.
Yeah, it's drinks. They're not talking about fucking software companies. They're talking about drinks.
So here's what's in the unicorn frappuccino.
Rainbow Sprinkles.
The purple and blue concoction was made with a sweet dusting of pink powder blended into a cream frappuccino with mango syrup and layered with a pleasantly sour blue drizzle. And it was finished with a vanilla whipped cream and a sprinkle of sweet pink and sour blue powder topping.
Did they not include the
was
unicorn
this
blood?
drink like made as a promotion for that Brie Larson movie, the unicorn one on Netflix?
Oh, unicorn woman?
What?
I don't remember what it was called. It said
I
unicorn was
think
in the
it's called
title.
the Unicorn Store.
Yeah, the unicorn store.
I think it was, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also, what's this pink powder?
Yeah, what is the pink powder made out
It's
of?
got to be
it didn't
powdered.
say- it
it's
didn't say a
powdered-
flavor. It's
It's
just-
powdered unicorn blood. It's got to be.
I think it has to be.
Gotta be.
We put the our patented pink powder into the drink.
Yeah. Dehydrated unicorn blood.
It's powdered unicorn blood.
Starbucks has a secret unicorn farm.
It's a
uniform.
it's a uniform.
Uniform farm.
It's a uniform unicorn farm.
Yes, somewhere, and they're slaughtering unicorns
And just
for their
powdering
blood.
the blood.
The next one is a cherry
It's
pie.
humane.
A cherry pie frappuccino.
Oh, may I?
Yes, Peter, you may go ahead.
It's a cherry pie frappuccino.
Correct.
Okay. So cherry pie bits of crust. Okay. Okay.
cherry pie bits of crust?
Whipped cream. bits of cherry pie crust. Whatever you want to, whatever phraseology you want, Mike. Okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, of course, it's cherry pie bits of crust.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Obviously.
Of course.
I think we're all in agreement that there's going to be whipped cream. It
Yeah.
can't be a Starbucks
Obviously.
drink without whipped cream.
Water, caffeine, and sugar.
Water, caffeine, sugar, some type of blood.
Yep.
I would think
Cherry's blood.
Cherry blood.
Blooded ice.
Cherry pie, crumbs of blood.
cherry infused blood
Yeah.
and no stems.
No stems.
Stem's gonna ruin it. You get a stem in your throat, you're choking on that. Starbucks has a lawsuit on their hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it says early in April came the cherry pie frappuccino, which combines cherry compote, a vanilla flavored cream base, and whipped cream,
Fuck. Nailed
all
it.
of which are topped off with a pie crust dome
dome.
instead of the usual plastic dome.
I'm
lid.
so
Whoa.
into that. I'm so into that.
And do you mention the blood?
I think the screenshot got cut off. But yeah, I think it was talking about the blood later.
You know, Andrew, for the longest time, I thought that the word compote on a menu was compote. I thought it was fancy.
Is it not? I have no idea.
I think it actually is compote, and for the longest time, I kept calling
it's
it
compote.
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 Pretty sure it's compati.
Also, I'd like to amend a previous statement about the price of the unicorn.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Here comes big
$50
disappointment.
bucks?
Tell them how much that is for.
5,000.
What the
$5,000
No.
for one unicorn frozen frappuccino.
believe it. No.
And he listed another one. Looks like for
$5,000.
he upped the price to 10 grand for the next one that he sold.
Did it sell?
I don't know. It doesn't say on Facebook about
That
that.
cherry pie one
did he
seems
sell
like
it on
it'd
eBay
be
or on
worth
Facebook?
more.
They're all on eBay.
So we go look. We go find these lists.
Well, this is from July 21st.
we probably still could find.
So
Yeah, someone's probably selling it. We could all share it.
The cherry
we could
pie
all like split the price.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he said he had 100 people watching the item when he listed it at $6,000.
Oh my
So he
God.
upped it to 100 or to 10K to buy those,
That was insane.
which is yeah.
What do you do
Anyway,
when you receive that, by the way? You get the
drink it?
You can't drink it.
No.
You probably get it, and you probably masturbate.
I think this is 100% some sexual fetish for
Yeah.
sure.
You're like, oh my god, the unicorn blood,
It's coursing through me.
Pink powder.
the big batter.
I cannot think of anything more like just like ephemeral, right?
Yeah.
Like than a frappuccino.
Frozen coffee drink.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I forgot about this. I saw this when he posted it in July, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Wait,
Could
okay,
you-
so could you imagine like you buy that, you have it delivered to you in July when it was bought, and it sits on your porch, right?
You weren't there to
You
receive
weren't there
it.
to receive it. You go open it up. You know, maybe you are there to receive it though, and you still open it up, and it's just completely melted,
Guaranteed,
just from being
like,
in the postal
if you're
service.
paying $5,000 for
Oh
it,
my
it's coming
God.
in a refrigerated bag. You're watching that package
No,
for when
I know.
it arrives.
I know.
You're getting it delivered to wherever you're at.
And I still have so many questions.
Can we get this guy on the pod?
Yep.
I bet.
who-
I
we
bet
need
we
to find
could.
out who
I bet
bought
we
it.
could.
Please get him on the
Do you
pod.
remember Theo? It's Theo from.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get him on the pod.
Let's get an interview.
All right, our exclusive interview with Theo, the Frappuccino vendor.
Let's get him on.
All right, that's gonna come up. All right,
man.
we have one more. This is the spiced sweet cream Nariño 70 cold brew.
70.
Ooh.
Nariño? What? How do you spell that?
Narin Oh,
Oh, Enye.
And yeah.
Enye or just an Enye?
Narinyo.
Okay.
Naruto?
And how, could you use it in a sentence?
Spiced sweet cream Nariño 70 cold brew.
Okay.
70.
Not a
So-
sentence.
It's an incomplete sentence.
Fair.
Okay, the number's throwing me off. What's with the 70?
You gotta tell me.
70. So the 70 is probably
The year 1970.
yeah. So it's a
What's
vintage.
Nariño?
Can we look up Nariño? Can we look up what that word is?
It's a, let's work backwards, guys. It's a vintage. It's a 70.
Yeah,
so it's from
it's-
1970.
Okay, it's a
It's probably referring to the original 70 colonies of
right of
the
Nariño.
US.
British
The US.
Empire.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you've heard of El Nino, right? This is Nariño.
Yeah.
I'm following.
So like you know how you have like La Nina and El Nino, or well, Nariño happens in between them.
in the 70s.
Yeah, in the
when they
70s.
mix.
Yeah, that's when they mix. Yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement that there's going to be whipped cream.
yes,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there might be some pink powder.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa, holy fucking shit.
okay. I'm thinking that like maybe this this is including coffee that was it was picked in 1970. It's a great year,
Yeah.
great vintage.
The bean.
Aged in oak barrels.
Because the beans can keep for a long time.
Yeah,
without
these
being
are
roasted.
old beans.
Yeah.
Old but good.
Is this served nitro?
It's just let's
Cold,
hear.
it's cold, right?
Oh, it's spiced.
It's just
too.
a cold brew.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
What sort
it's
of
got
spices
exotic
are in there?
spices.
Are we talking like a grande?
Yeah,
You
sure.
think this is like a only sold in Mexico drink, and there's like tamarind sort of flavor in it? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, tamarind.
In the 70s.
In the 70s, right? Yeah. In honor of
Nariño.
Nariño 70.
I think there's going to be ginger in there.
there might be some turmeric.
Yeah, it could be good for your joints.
Like might be parsley, sage, rosemary.
So
and
we're thinking
thyme.
no.
we're thinking
No,
there's
not
a,
time. Just like those. Okay.
a health
We
component.
know what time it was. It was the 70s.
Duh.
We're thinking there's a health component to this.
Yeah. Oh, it's very
Okay,
healthy.
So it's a healthy drink, but there is whip, and it's the 70s, and it's
turmeric
healthy.
whip.
So there's gonna be blood in there too. Okay, so whip,
Nariño's blood.
coffee, cold brew, blood, spices, and El Nino.
Okay. It says this is a company's first exclusively cold holiday drink.
Ooh, chili.
The beverage is made from cold brew coffee, cinnamon,
Nailed it.
anise,
Nailed it.
Anise.
nutmeg,
Our niece?
Anise.
vanilla,
Thank God.
and house-made sweet cream. This is a quote from
Nariño himself.
the this
Nariño himself.
this is a
How old is Nariño now?
70.
In his 90s.
He was 70 when he made the drink.
So he's in his hundreds.
Yeah, he's like an old man now.
He's dead.
This is a quote from a corporate press release from the Starbucks beverage development team from someone named Yoke Wong. And they said, "We know our customers are looking for even more options in cold coffee. The spices complement the cold brew and bring out the cocoa notes in the coffee. It's a flavor reminiscent of the holiday season.
Okay.
Just say no.
No
If it's
questions at
not
this time.
Norino.
Do you think that they call themselves the Star Bev Dev Team?
oh yeah, they definitely do. For sure.
If they do,
They
they
must.
walk around the office and everybody looks at them like, fuck.
They've got-
those
they've got
guys.
Star Bev Devs are here.
They've got t-shirts with that on it.
Very pumped out chests.
Hell yeah.
Smelling their
Yo,
own
we're
farts.
the Star Bev Dev Team, dude.
They have epaulets with actual stars,
There's
like a general.
you get a there's a Slack channel with your whole team on it, and then they're like, "Hey, watch out! Wednesday, the Star Bev Dev Team's coming in."
They work from
Be sure
home
to say
most
hi.
days.
Those guys are rowdy. Make sure to clean that conference room afterwards.
They're gonna be pumped up on 70.
I heard they just bought us $5,000 coffee.
Those guys are slamming Norinos in there.
I heard Kyle got demoted down to star and D.
They've got the unicorn powder.
Well, if you have
They're
a
snorting unicorn powder.
I have such a strong desire to Google all of these drinks on eBay right now and see how much they're selling for.
We never got to explain why the hell it's named that though. It's such a horrible name for
I
that.
know. Where's the
It's like
70
a
eggs
holiday
from?
drink.
exactly.
No, think about
Exactly.
it though. Who made the drink?
Oh,
Star Bev Dev.
Norino.
Norino.
Yeah, okay.
How old was he when he made the drink?
Yeah,
70.
70.
Okay, we know why.
Easy.
No, it took him 70 tries to get it right.
In the 1970s.
It was his 70th mix, and he was like, "This is the one."
This is it. This is the one drink.
If you have purchased an exotic Starbucks drink for over $5,000, why don't you go ahead and write into the podcast? pwspacecast@gmail.com is the place to be. We have lots of social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Podworm Spacecast, as well as a great Facebook, what the fuck am I saying? A great website.
we have a great Facebook
The
too.
Facebook is pretty good.
We have the best Facebook.
Tremendous Facebook.
Tremendous Facebook.
I can't recommend enough the Facebook, but the website's good too. pwspacecast.com. It's got all of our upcoming tour dates. Catch us live. And the most important thing here is that you like this show. You gotta tell somebody you know or somebody you don't know. This is a great way to make a new friend with somebody you've never talked to before. Maybe at a Starbucks, perhaps on a construction site. Start the conversation.
Talk to the Star Bev Dev Team.
Yeah, get them involved.
If you're working down in Soto at the Starbucks headquarters, you see a Star Bev Dev team member walking past, strike up a conversation. Say, "Hey, have you heard the latest episode of the Podworm Spacecast?"
Yeah, heard
We're talking
about you guys on that, yeah.
They shout you out.
Yep, we give them a big bump in ratings. But as always, space fans, until next time,
Keep squirming.